Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day and had a phenomenal 3-day weekend. I know I did. I took a little break over the weekend. Feel nice and refreshed. It's good to take a time away from the charts. So let's take a quick peek at the back-end liquidation data, kind of see where we're at. Don't forget to hit that like button every single time you watch the video, folks. It really helps grow the channel. Unfortunately, we get a pretty low amount of likes versus the amount of really good feedback I get. So thank you again for just being an awesome part of my life. Those of you who consistently do that for me, thank you again. So let's take a look here. First of all, liquidation data on the back end. It's spread out. There's a lot of liquidation everywhere. So there's no like major concentration we can see outside of 420 to 440. We've known that area for a little while. That's reflected here on the charts for the macro. And there's obviously some down as low as 320 to 280, but I think the probability of that is pretty low. However, we're still technically establishing lower lows, so we need to have a higher high in order to break that trend. We are seeing that on the smaller time frames, so just keep that in mind. That's a good sign, but liquidation delta is still bearish. This does imply either A, a short squeeze is coming, or B, the bears are still in control, and we see the price pull back after this little fake out. Now keep in mind, it's not a fake out. I don't know just yet. We haven't literally looked at the charts, but generally speaking, Bitcoin is increasing right now in value, and as it goes up, SUI should go up with it, right? That's kind of the concept. So as long as we're not seeing like weakness or low volume, we should be in good shape to see continuation higher. Open interest does reflect $3.95 to $4 is that concentration, or $3.95 to $4.05 is that upper area of resistance. So if we get back into that area, keep in mind the price may slow down. Just bear in mind that's a good take profit range to consider. I generally like to take profit in liquidation ranges or open interest ranges, okay? Just know that that's above us, so roughly $4 will be that resistance. We can also see some confluence here at that 0.65 fib level, that golden pocket essentially at 390. So keep in mind 390 has proven to be a support and resistance zone in the past. All that being said, daily time frame, let's work our way down. First of all, we do have a falling wedge type of pattern. These are generally bullish. They do break to the upside, pending Bitcoin doesn't pull back significantly. So if we do take a look here, we can see here that we're in pretty good shape in the overall sense. Now, we do have our point of control at 390. Just bear that in mind. That's a good take profit target range if you're considering a long. If you look at money flow index, it did come down to bounce off this 20 to 30 range. That's usually a good consideration for a long when the MFI pulls back to that lower range. However, you want other things to confirm with that. You don't just jump in because that one thing, but that's usually a favorable sign. We also held above the 200-day SMA for 3 days in a row. That's also very, very good. So these are all things that we like to see here in the charts. If we look at the 4-hour time frame, we can see, of course, that our local high, let me go ahead and just zoom in here so you can see it. Our local high here that was retested over the weekend at 365, rough estimate, is now broken. So we could experience, if the price pulls back, a little retest of that level and continuation higher. The key takeaway here is we've broken through that local resistance and that point of control. And regardless of the fact that we just created a fair value gap, there's a distinct probability further upside makes more sense. And the reason why I believe that is because, once again, you pay attention to the volume. Look at this, the big old chunk of volume. It's above that moving average. As long as that continues to maintain itself, we're more likely to go higher. Keep in mind, Bitcoin is pushing upwards as well and breaking free from its type of triangle pattern. So that helps. That's definitely a good influence here. So pending Bitcoin doesn't run down to the 107, 108K range, I think SUI is due to hold this level. Furthermore, too, we have our previous one-day high in this area here, which minus today's low, we can see that we've held above that level quite well, about 355. So overall, a lot of sustainability here for this coin, more likely to go higher than lower once more pending Bitcoin doesn't pull any shenanigans on us. Overall, MACD is still converging. We're back up over 50 in the RSI. These are all signs I like to look for when I consider long positions. Same thing here as well. If we take a look at this, we look at the RSIs, we can see here. I meant to look at the hourly Ichimoku cloud. When we look at the Ichimoku cloud, we're back up above that. It's that one-day high closure, so that's a pretty good sign to be back on that track there. So I think overall, we're more likely to continue further up here, but a bullish backtest at 365 does make sense at this point. So maybe consider a long in that range. Otherwise, at this point, it's best not to try to short against this kind of volume. Just keep in mind, though, the bears do still have some control here with their open, basically the local liquidation delta that is still quite high to the downside. So I'm not suggesting you take a short position at all, but I am recommending that you be careful taking a long. If you were to, make sure you have proper risk tolerance in your trade. Cool. All right, I'll post our playout chart as per usual on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. It all looks like this here. Thanks again for the awesome feedback. Join us over at Bitunix too, folks. No KYC or VPN required exchange. Awesome deposit reward bonus this month, and a Tesla up for grabs too. So all based on volume, just stuff you normally qualify for based on the simple fact that you're just trading your favorite coins. All right, I hope you all have a good one. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.